On today's menu, a deliciously crispy recipe so easy to make, time really flies by. Super crispy, tofu katsu, fingers. Gonna make a simple, quick katsu sauce, and by simple, I mean literally only needs 3 things. 2 tablespoons ketchup, splash of toasted sesame oil, 1 tablespoon soy sauce, mix, place half a cup of all-purpose flour into a bowl. Half cup water. Season with a pinch of salt. Mix until combined. Pour about 3/4 cups of panko into another bowl. Season the panko with some salt. Carefully slice 350 grams of extra firm tofu into sticks. Roll the tofu in the flour mixture. Use a fork to transfer the tofu onto the panko. Roll and stick the panko onto the tofu. Set aside the prepped tofu. We're just going to repeat those steps for the rest of the tofu sticks. Boy, that looks amazing already. Time to fry these up, get them really nice and crispy. Now you can bake these about maybe 400 degrees, spray some oil on them for about 10 minutes or so. But I find frying them in the frying pan just gives it that really nice, super crispy, authentic kind of Japanese breadcrumb crispiness. Frying pan, medium heat, 1 cup avocado oil. Alternatively, you can use grapeseed or veggie oil. Stick a bamboo chopstick into the oil. If you see some bubbles, the oil is ready. Fry the tofu in small batches for about 45 seconds on each side. Place the tofu onto a paper towel to absorb the excess oil. Repeat with the rest of the tofu. Plate, parchment paper, tofu katsu fingers, garnish with some freshly chopped cabbage and tomato. Remember to plate your delicious sauce and you're ready to serve. You can now make this deliciously crispy treat with absolute confidence. Peel about 3 pounds of russet potatoes. Roughly chop the potatoes into small cubes. This will help it cook faster. Transfer the potatoes to a large stock pot. So this is Japanese kombu, and it's kind of like the king of seaweed because it's a really thick, incredibly delicious, releases a lot of umami kind of seaweed. And this here is dry shiitake mushrooms. Now we have to rehydrate these, so might as well rehydrate them in the boiling water with the potatoes and flavor the potatoes at the same time. 20 grams kombu, 5 dried shiitake mushrooms. Fill the pot with enough water to submerge the potatoes. Cover and boil the potatoes until fork tender. While we wait for the potatoes to cook, this is actually a companion video to the SHIITO-YAKI recipe inside the Vegan Ramen Cookbook. And of course, to take a sneak peek inside the cookbooks, check out the Young Men Cooking merch or the Sushi Masterclass. I'll definitely leave a link for you to check out in the description box below. Now let's check out those potatoes. Be sure to keep an eye on the pot for it can boil over. This is a really amazing thick chickpea mayonnaise I made in the previous episode. I'll leave a link in the description box below for you to check this out and make this really easily at home as well. We're just going to transfer a little bit into this squeeze bottle. When the potatoes are fork tender, strain out the water. Remove the kombu and save for another recipe. Place the shiitake mushrooms into a small bowl. Run the mushrooms under some cold water, making them easier to handle.
Very carefully remove the stalks from the shiitake mushrooms. The stalks on the dry shiitakes tend to be a little bit too tough to be palatable. Chop the shiitake mushrooms into small pieces. One piece should be roughly about 1/4 teaspoon in size. Rice the potatoes into a large mixing bowl. Alternatively, you can use a potato masher, but a ricer will give you a silky consistency. To the 3 sticks of green onion, finely chopped. Five tablespoons white sesame seeds. 2 tablespoons soy sauce. Mix.
That already smells amazing. You can really smell the umami from that kombu.
Flatten about 1.5 tablespoons of potato onto the palm of your hand. Place a piece of shiitake mushroom in the center. Then firmly fold in the potato and shape into a ball. Repeat with the rest of the filling.
Texture-wise, they're not supposed to be incredibly dense, so definitely be firm when you press, but gentle when you roll. Once we go to cook it, they will keep its shape much easier. Now to make this recipe, you do have to have this kind of a bit of a specialty item. This is a takoyaki pan. This is really just a non-stick grill pan that has the shape of the takoyaki ball. You should be able to find these online or maybe at a specialty Asian supermarket.
Drizzle some avocado oil onto the pan. Use a paper towel to spread around the oil. Medium heat. Carefully place the SHIITO-YAKIs onto the pan. Drizzle a little more avocado oil on top. Let it cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. Very carefully flip the SHIITO-YAKIs. As the potato cooks, it'll be easier to handle. Try to flip them touching only the cooked side. Let the other side cook for another 5 to 7 minutes. In the meantime, cut some nori into thin strips.
So really, really critical, do not touch these too much, because once the side starts cooking, it's going to solidify a little bit and make it easier to handle. But if you start touching the top that's not cooked, then it's just going to fall apart and it's going to be a mess.
You can check the SHIITO-YAKIs if it's seared to your liking.
Now be extremely careful, that pan is really hot.
Plate. Generously drizzle over the chickpea mayo. Garnish with the nori. And top with white sesame seeds. You can now enjoy this delicious recipe with absolute confidence. Add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce to a small saucepan, 1 tablespoon miso paste, 1 tablespoon dobanjian.
Bit of specialty items. This is a chickpea miso. I've also used in previous episodes, but of course you can sub this out with regular miso paste that you can find at an Asian grocery supermarket. This here is a Sichuan style broad bean sauce or broad bean paste, also called dobanjian. This is the stuff that I use to make mapo tofu, so I always have this on hand. We'll add a lot of umami, earthiness, saltiness, a little tanginess, and a little spiciness as well. But of course, if you don't have this, you can also use sriracha. It's not really the same thing. This is kind of a casual ramen dish, so it's all good.
Couple tablespoons veggie stock. Medium heat. Stir and cook for a few minutes. Dissolve the miso paste into the liquid. Continue stirring until the miso is dissolved and a semi-thick paste is formed. Ramen bowl. Transfer the paste to the bowl.
This is kind of like the flavoring for the ramen, which, by the way, you can multiply this portion of the recipe to make more just to have on hand if you like. Depending on if you're using salted or unsalted veggie stock, you may want to adjust the seasoning or the saltiness in this flavoring.
Bring a pot of water to boil for the noodles. Pat dry about 50 grams of extra firm tofu with a paper towel. Use a fork to mash the tofu into a crumble. Non-stick pan. Medium heat. 1 tablespoon chili oil. Crumbled tofu. Saute for a few minutes. This will add a slightly crispy texture onto the crumble. One teaspoon dark soy sauce. Saute for another couple of minutes. Set the tofu aside. Chop about 30 grams of fresh shiitake mushrooms. Feel free to use any other mushrooms you prefer or have on hand. Small saucepan. 2½ cups veggie stock. In this episode, I'm using an unsalted veggie stock. Medium-high heat. Shiitake mushrooms. A small piece of kombu.
This kombu is like the king of seaweed, has this really thick texture. It'll add this extra umami to the veggie stock. The leftover kombu you can use to make a delicious, crunchy kombu seaweed salad. I'll leave a link in the description box below for you to check that out in a previous episode.
Cook the ramen noodles to package instructions, in this case 4 minutes. Remember to stir the noodles occasionally. When the veggie stock comes to a boil, remove the kombu.
If you're up for making the veggie stock, the noodles even, or this spicy smoky chili oil from scratch, I'll definitely leave links to all of those previous episodes in the description box below. You'll also find the link to the brand new, highly anticipated, official Young Man Cooking ramen bowls and spoons. These beautiful official Young Man Cooking ceramic ramen bowls were inspired by my travels in Japan. The restaurant-style bowls have a deep, dark jet black glaze with a subtle yet elegant smoky gray accent. The bowls also come with a matching ceramic spoon, designed with a hook on one end to keep it from falling into your lovely soup. Now you can really serve up your next bowl of steaming hot ramen with absolute confidence. For more information, definitely check out that link in the description box below, or you can visit youngmancooking.com. Now let's finish creating this incredible ramen.
Pour the hot veggie stock into the ramen bowl. Give the bowl a whisk. It's recommended not to use a metal whisk as to not scratch the bowl. Once the noodles are done, strain them out. Carefully add the noodles to the broth. Place on the toppings, starting with the crumbled tofu. Shiitake mushrooms. Freshly chopped green onions. A small bunch of chili threads. Sprinkle with white sesame seeds. And a generous tablespoon of smoky, spicy chili oil. You can now serve up this delicious bowl of ramen with absolute confidence.
That smells incredible. Definitely go for some of that broth first. Boy, there are so many flavors in there. That is a party I definitely want everyone to attend. Visually, it looks like a rustic, casual, beautiful bowl of ramen. I just love how you get those leading lines with the noodles and those beautiful kind of toppings just plopped on there in its own little sort of section. The shiitake mushrooms are just so tender, earthy, and have this explosion of umami. The crumbled tofu really substantiates the toppings, looks amazing, and adds this extra layer of contrasting texture. The green onions add that kind of crisp freshness, and you really taste that smokiness and a little spiciness from the chili oil. It adds so much fragrance and extraordinary aroma. That broth is just full of complex flavors. It's salty, very earthy, and you really do taste the shiitake mushroom flavor that's seeped into that veggie stock. The miso paste adds a sweetness, a little saltiness, and this delightful brightness. It just really livens up that broth. The dobenjan adds the tangy, salty umami, a little bit of spiciness as well, and it gives that broth this beautiful crimson, deep red color. The great thing about ramen is that you can make it as complex or as simplistic as you'd like, and this is one exciting bowl of ramen you can make in your very own kitchen. This is definitely a simple yet superb bowl of delicious ramen. To find out more information or to order your very own official Young Man Cooking ramen bowls, I'll leave a link in the description box below for you to check them out, or you can visit youngmancooking.com. If you're not already subscribed with that notification bell clicked, definitely do so. If you enjoyed today's recipe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next episode.